Tonight, the biggest owner of local TV stations in the country fighting back after criticism that its anchors were forced to read scripts on the air promoting a pro-Trump agenda. The promo, read on Sinclair Broadcasting-owned stations, brought to light how, thanks to a now viral video put out by the website Deadspin. Take a look.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
I want to mention that most of the Sinclair stations are also CNN affiliates. Brian Stelter is out front with more.
A broadcasting behemoth with many critics, some now calling it a propaganda arm for the Trump administration. With around 200 stations, Sinclair is the biggest local TV player in the country. Today, it reaches more than a third of U.S. households, and it's trying to get bigger, awaiting government approval for its takeover of Tribune Media. The company's conservative bent is becoming more visible, with promos echoing Trump's anti-media rhetoric.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about the trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
That viral mashup is just the latest example. Stations are required to run terrorism alert desk segments about security threats. These are known as must-runs inside Sinclair.
Here's the bottom line.
Also must run, these rah-rah commentaries from former Trump campaign advisor Boris Epshteyn.
The president is here to get results and not to coddle staff or cabinet members.
During the presidential campaign, Jared Kushner reportedly inked a deal with Sinclair for better coverage. Sinclair calls that a mischaracterization. But the company's politics are no secret. It's controlled by Executive Chairman David Smith and his family. With his brothers in the early 90s, Smith built his father's 3 TV stations into a mega broadcaster.
How many of your stations are in the top 20 markets?
Well, we're in Baltimore to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, with the vast majority of them being middle markets. The Flint, Michigans, Kansas Cities, Birmingham.
His views radiate out to local stations, sometimes creating tension between management and local journalists. Some local staffers are expressing anger about recent corporate mandates, with one telling me, quote, "It sickens me the way this company is encroaching upon trusted news brands in rural markets." Responding to the uproar, Sinclair sent a memo to stations. It says, quote, "We are focused on fact-based reporting," and it calls the goal of those now viral promos to reiterate our commitment to reporting facts in a pursuit of truth. A bit like the Fox Fair and Balanced slogan. It's innocuous sounding, but everyone knows what it really means. Tonight, we know one staffer at a station has resigned as a result. We know another station up in Wisconsin refused to air these promos. The company's dealing with the fallout from this, and I'm hearing from staffers all across the country in these local newsrooms who just feel deeply uncomfortable having to broadcast this.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. And I want to go now to Deadspin video editor Tim Burke. When you saw all of those anchors on the screen echoing each other, that's the viral video created by Tim. And Tim, thank you. You know, Brian's saying someone's resigned. Others are extremely upset. One channel refused, the anchors refused to tape those promos. You wrote the anchors looked like hostages and proof of life videos. And I know you had a link to ask local anchors and reporters to reach out to you to speak out. What have they been telling you?
Well, thanks, Aaron. I've been hearing both from current Sinclair employees, past Sinclair employees, and future Sinclair employees. The current ones are really in a fix because the state of local TV news means that moving from job to job isn't very easy. They feel like they have a responsibility to do their jobs simply for the sake of their families, but their independence, which they knew they were giving up to some degree when they started working for a Sinclair station, has really been challenged by the degree to which they are required to read this message on air.
I mean, it's, you know, a pretty hard situation. I think you put the emotion of it, right? These people, they're supporting families, right? You want to ask someone just to step up and quit. That's a much easier said than done. The executive chairman of Sinclair, David Smith, you know, has been defending what he calls the company's corporate news journalistic responsibility promotional campaign. How's that for a mouthful? But given the attention your video is getting, right, you have put the spotlight on this in a whole new way and brought it to a much broader audience. Do you get the sense that more employees will come forward publicly, that they will not feel alone or isolated?
Oh, absolutely. I'm already seeing it happen. Certainly, there are a few employees who have felt bold enough to speak out about this in public. The reaction from viewers is really, I think, driving some of this. There are a number of people who live in Sinclair markets who saw our video before their local market showed this promo. And so it's really turned a lot of the audience against their local stations. And I think that there's a sort of a local PR aspect to anybody from that station coming out and saying, look, we didn't write this. This is not our local station speaking. This is our corporate parent.
All right. Thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate it. And, you know, what a public service you've done by putting that video out and bringing so much broad attention to it. Thank you.
Thank you.